on the Windows-based system. If you wanna implement the same thing but in the Linux system, it's okay. But at the time, let me know first. You need to get the permission. Yes.
So the look and feel will be like the notepad when
Which
you
one?
ultimate file system, the final.
When you open the notepad, I don't think you can see the contents.
Yeah, but ultimately our executable portion or executable look should look like this. That yes, something like
Executable what?
executable file or how I.
Yeah, first your program, your project should be executable. It's there are, if you want the graphical user interface, it's okay. It's also fine. Okay, using the Visual Studio, you can select the even when you can implement the graphical user interface and give the menu or whatever file system. So this is a put. In case the event of the put, you can actually pop up the window to select the file. Okay, then will be copied into the. It doesn't matter. Okay. But anyway, so no matter what name of your project you implement, when you execute, when you run, and this one should be should perform such a command. Another thing is, in case you are using the Visual Studio, so please complete your project. Okay, which means at least your project should be installable. Okay, so make the executable file. First, I'm going to GA and me will test with your executable file, not your source code. We are not going to compile. Okay, for your evaluation. First, submit the source file as well as the executable file. Then test the command with your executable file. Then check the source code with your source code. Okay. Then we'll just click the debug whether your source file is compilable or not. But to verify, to justify your functionality, we will test with your executable file. Okay. Otherwise, there are too many different conditions. Very, very hard. So we have too many students, too many submissions. So if GA and me need to verify how compile, even though you are using the same configuration, sometimes many of times it's a fail to compile. So submit your executable file also. But if you can make the installation process, it's also fine. If we need to install. So that is the reason I specify this one should be running on Windows 7 or 8. 7, mostly the 7. What is the version of our computer in the line? So Windows 7, right? So if you want to use the other operating system, it's fine, but let me know. Because for our convenience, there's too many students, are very hard to figure out all of the different cases. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Also, don't forget to submit the README file. README file. So first, the GAM will take a look at your README file, how to run your program, how to use your program. So if you are using the different name of the command instead of put, copy, something like that, we will take a look at your README file. Okay. And also, any specific library we need. Copy or the environment, you need to put all the information in the README file. Definitely, those who are implementing the additional functionality will get the extra credit. So network file system. So file system, but it go through the network. So it will be based on the RPC, the remote procedure call. It uses the remote procedural call. the idea is, so when you have the file system, it's a direct three structures. So I have the file system like that. This is a TMP1 in server A, and in server B, I'd like to see this file as if I'm accessing the local file system. At that time, you can create a mounting point. For example, this is a mounting point, NFS remote, the TMP. Then you can mount this one to here using the network. At that time, anyway, you need to communicate. It looks like the local file system, but there exists in the remote side. At the time, we can use the RPC, the protocol, remote procedure port that we have seen before. What about the permission protection that we discussed last time? This file system has their own access control information, permission information, like the 777 or the 752 or the administrator. It's a read and write and deny, whatever. Yeah. What if here? How can this system verify this user is accessible this file one? At the time, we can use user ID and group ID. If the user of the server B, so I have a user Lee, user ID is 10. Here this file is created by the James, user ID 10, same user ID. And here I can access the file system because the user ID is the same. Even though the username is different, username does not matter. Okay? It's the same thing for the group ID. So as long as that is a frequently happen in the Linux file system, so when you mount remotely, then even though I create the same user as this one, you cannot access it because it has different user ID. So you should match it. You should make the transparency using the user ID and group ID. Then you can control. You can use the same access control, access right for the remote side. So this is the schematic view of the NFS the architecture. Is go through the network. It's based on the remote procedure code. So from the client, so you can request just like the general IPC, you can request the code. Then there's a server side, and perform the command. Then return the data to the IPC client. Then you can get the data. But this one is based on the virtual file system. There is a sender, the object. So even though you are using different file system, just like the VFS, user can access such a data. Okay, that's it for the implementation. I think that we have one more chapter for the file system management. That is the I/O management. So after we finish the I/O management, we will go back to the memory management. We'll finish that one. Believe it or not, if we can finish the I/O management, so we probably cover the 650 pages of the textbook, which means I was so fast. So, but I didn't push a lot to purchase the textbook, but I believe the textbook for the operating system, computer architecture, the core subject is critical. It will be helpful for your entire life as long as you are in the IT or computer science area. I'm still using the old textbook. Whenever I have a problem, then check the Google or Wikipedia textbook. Please do not ignore the importance of the textbook. Okay, so if you have a time today, we will have the invited speaker. He is from the South Dakota State University. I forgot the name of the university. Anyway, the professor, the L. Lewini, his expertise in the parallel system and parallel processing. So if you are interested in such area, you can attend the 4:30 at Dynamo room 107. So actually I end the class a little bit earlier too. So actually the speaker. Okay, thank you and see you next week.